My loyal viewers will know that this is the campfire site, and the reason I came back here, by the way, it's February 2nd, 2016. I'm digging in February in Michigan. Yeah, good day. Anyway, you can see that we're in a stream basin, so it floods here. So things are a lot deeper than they would be in other places. So I got a extra large Coors Super that I bought. The equivalent for Nell is the big coil, I believe is what it's called, but they're the same manufacturer. Anyway, so since it floods, things are deeper than they usually would be. As you see, I got two little things there. So maybe the extra large coil helped me. Now when I originally got this one, I'm like, oh darn it, I got a pull tab. Because as you can see, it looks a little pull tabby, really flat. But as I got brushing it off, you can see that there's some kind of design on the top. I don't know exactly what that is, but the side is really, let's see if I can get that to focus there, really intricately done. So I'm betting it's a silver ring. Rang up close to silver. I believe it was about a 77, but this is very small. Upon further inspection, it does say .925, and it's an owl figurine on the top. Just a little bit over from where I got that last one. I was getting a good 80 signal, jumped up to 85, so it was a little scratchy. But as you can see, it's a pretty decent sized plug, and it looks like it just happened to break right at where the coin was. Now from preliminary looks, it looks like it's probably a mercury dime. But again, I didn't get a great view of it. Let's see here. Yep, definitely a Merc, 1945, common date. Rang up about an 82, 83, so it should be in good shape. Like I said, this is a floodplain, so it has 70 years of flooding on it, but it should shine up pretty nice. Got out of work a bit early today, and I thought, you know what should I do today? I think I'll dig up one of my friend's yards, which is always a good option. I was getting somewhere around an 85 signal, and after chipping through literally the ice, I should mention that it's the beginning of February 2016. Looks like we got a nice little silver dime there. I believe 1944 is the date. No mint mark, looks to be in pretty good shape. February 23rd, 2016. Again, whenever you're out in February in Michigan, it's a good year. And I was digging around and I got a weird 60 signal, but it was a nice repeatable one, so I figured I'd try it. And it turned out to be a silver war nickel. Now it rang up, I tested it after I got it out, about 60. They usually ring up 53, so this one might have more silver than normal war nickels. And it looks like that might be the case because it is very light coming out of the ground. This hasn't been cleaned. Usually they're like a black or a brown color, so nice find. There is lovely Lake Huron, and we are at a vacation destination on Lake Huron. Obviously, it's no longer open. It was built, I believe, in about the 1950s. But over along the fence here, I got about an 86 signal, and things always ring up high here. I don't know why. It turned out to be a silver dime, and you can see the edge sticking out there. Now, I didn't look at it yet. I got a penny right by here, and it was 1948, so I'm going to guess late Mercury, early Roosevelt. And it is a mercury dime. $1936. No mint mark. Got some bands there. Doesn't look like split bands. Let's see about our hairline. Some detail on the hairline, mostly flat. Probably extra fine. Not a bad find at all. Here at my friend's house, and as I mentioned before, the house that burned down used to be at the top of this hill. And right in front of the flagpole here, I got a signal, and it was kind of in and out of my discrimination range, so I lowered my discrimination range, and it was about a 50, which is a little bit lower than a nickel, but I figured I'd try it. And it's a good thing I did, because we got this cute little 1897 V nickel. The front's a lot better than the back. Hopefully it'll clean up decent. But it is an 1897, and I believe this is my first time I broke into the 1800s this year. I found lots of mercury dimes here. I found a standing Liberty quarter, so for a house, a private dwelling, it's been a really good location. A before and after shot of the cleaning process. It came out pretty good. Terribly windy out here, not sure how the sound quality is going to be, but I just got here. So far I've only gotten memorial pennies, nothing with age. Although I did get an 83, 84 signal somewhere around on the AT Pro, and it turned out to be this very intricately done sterling silver ring. Nice design. It says sterling on the inside. Hopefully I might be able to get some kind of a date. I gained the permission of this beautiful historic home. The owners say it was built around the 1930s. It looks earlier to me. The brick construction and the design looks more late Victorian, so I'd say late 1800s, early 1900s. But there's only one way to find out, of course, and that's to look for coins in the yard. Now, I found one, and I'll take you there. I already dug it up. But I'll give you the signal here, because I know some of you have never found silver dimes before and you're looking at this for advice and things like that. So I'll show you what kind of signal I'm getting. And I think I gave it away that it's a silver dime. And you notice how it hits clearly from both ways? It has a very sweet note. I'll get it out of the ground and show it to you. I'm at a Boy Scout camp formerly known as Chickagami, which was closed sometime around 1950s. It's a park now, no one ever comes to it. And usually it's so grown you can't get into this part. And I found good stuff in the other parts, so I figured now would be a good time to come in and see if I could find anything decent in this part. And I got a signal, wasn't really high 70s or so. I got a wheat penny out of it, and there was still a little bit of a hint, almost like iron, but I figured with one coin in the hole, you got to make sure to know what it is. And when I finally got it up, it was pretty deep down. Turned out to have a silver rim on it. So we'll see what this is. And that looks like the back of a Merc to me. Just to flip things around, we'll do things mint mark first. Don't see one, so it's Philadelphia. Turn it around. Look for a date, 1938. Very nice find. Back here at the Boy Scout camp, and this area has recently been cleared out. And I was going along and I got a relatively high signal, but it was deep in the ground, scratchy, only hitting one way, but I figured I'd try it since this is an area I haven't been in before. And as I said, this is a campsite, so stuff is spread out sporadically based on where people camped. There'll be nothing and then a cluster of coins and then nothing, but it appears like we got a glint of silver there. Looks like a mercury dime. Let's see if we can focus that. Get a date off it. 1940. And I don't think I see a mint mark. Not bad band shape. Yep, definitely no mint mark. Nice bands. Not a bad find. As I've said before of this camp, it was not used by the Boy Scouts after about 1950. And since then it's still owned by the city of Croswell, but it's pretty much forgotten, which is why it's a good place to come and dig. Of course, all of the stuff is still in the ground. Not to mention it's eerily peaceful and scenic around here. Pretty much no one's ever here. Beautiful place to be out. Early spring day. This area, a little in the woods from where I gave you a little tour there, is always a good place for me, and I had a signal a little bit more than a nickel, and I figured I'd try it, and it turned out pretty decent for me. Looks like a war nickel there, 1943. Let's see if we can get a mint mark. Of course, with the mint marks, they're always on the back, prominent over Monticello. Assuming they're not covered in dirt. And this is an S mint mark, so very good find. Here nestled along fallen trees, and you always wonder what's in fallen trees, or under fallen trees, I should say. And luckily, this one hasn't fully fallen. And I got a bit of a signal where it would have fell, so it's a good thing that it was just a peeper and it happened to be on its side. And I don't even know what it is yet. As you can see, it is fully covered. We get just a hint of what it is from the side, but quite honestly, I can't tell from that. And we got a mercury dime. 1943. Most of the ones I get out of here are. This camp opened in 1944-ish, so that makes sense. This one's in good shape, like most of them are. And it looks like we don't have a mint mark. But a very good find, at any rate. Here at a public park, and where that gazebo is, there used to be a bar in the 1940s called Leiteman's, I believe. And this was the gravel parking lot. So, unfortunately, since it's a public park, there's been a lot of people through here. However, in your well-hunted out areas, you can usually find a good nickel or two. And I've got one Buffalo V4 here, lots of wheat pennies. And now it looks like we got another war nickel. Of course, those were 35% silver, made during World War II. This one's a 1943. And a P mint mark. And it looks to be in pretty good shape. These war nickels do crazy things. You'll get copper deposits on the top, or they'll be discolored. It's a pretty hit or miss with these nickels, and this looks like it's a good one. Back at the Seaside Oasis, the cabins by the shore, and I had a pretty clear signal, kind of scratchy but popping up into 81, 82 range. And when I dug the clod out and passed the metal detector over it, it wasn't giving me a signal at all, but that happens a lot in the sandy soil, so I went around with my pinpointer. Looks like we got a little dime there. $19.60. Not bad at all.